seeing my in-laws just as like kind of a joke and put in an offer and got it. I was like, oh no.
You do have
Sure.
Matt McLaughlin as your realtor on the other side, did you?
Alrighty. With a mouthful of cookie, I would love to call this meeting to order at 6:01. Can we get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Slaughter,
Present?
Commissioner Jailing,
Yo.
Commissioner Silverman,
Present.
Commissioner Jones, Commissioner Lind,
Here.
Commissioner Siebert, Council Liaison Roleski. Here. And myself. We have a quorum.
Perfect. Can we get a review and approval of the minutes? Does anyone have any questions on the minutes? Any edits? If I was not present, I don't have any comments or anything, but can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Perfect, second from Debbie. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? I'm gonna abstain. All right, thank you very much. All right, so the next kind of big task is nomination for chair and vice chair. I know that we have done without a vice chair, considering this is my last meeting. I think getting a chair nomination first. If we only get one nomination, it feels great, but I think we should at least try and come away with one. Does anybody want to nominate anyone who's not here? Cause that's always fun to
So
vote.
is Lauren off or she's still on?
Yeah, so Lauren was the liaison and Sir was the vice chair while I was the liaison, mostly because I took a small maternity leave. And so when she rolled off of council and Vicky joined us, she became the liaison. So a lot of times the liaison is the vice chair. Don't want to pressure you. But I feel like step one is finding a chair. When Joe Garitano was on council, he served as the chair and I was his vice chair, so it's all kind of up for grabs, I believe.
Yes, ma'am. Or we can wait. Obviously, we have 5 of the 9 members we need are the citizen members, so to speak. So like I said, it's really all up to you. If there's somebody that would like to be chair, that's great. If not, okay, put it back on the agenda in July.
What would the protocol be if we do not have somebody in place by July? Because technically there would be a vacancy.
There would be, I know that Mayor Garitano is working on some of the vacancies as we speak. It's been advised of them. And so if there is no chair for the July meeting, typically the department would open the meeting and then that would be the first order of business.
That doesn't give us much time.
I will say, this would have been my second year and third event as chair. And it's a pretty easy job. It's not a lot of extra work, I wouldn't say, a couple like task force here and there, but it's not a lot of lift. It's really just running the meetings and the city does the hard work, as all of you know, and it's a real team effort. So if you're worried about the lift, it's really just getting to talk and sign things and just live in a little bit of fear of the sunshine law. But beyond that, so, okay. If you feel passionately about being put on the ballot, maybe shoot a note to the city staff. Great, okay, we could add that to the July.
I can.
Make sure it's on the agenda.
I get that, but I want to throw you out there.
I tried to get that. I might know.
When everybody's back, and it can be my last thing, I think that Kirsten would do a really great job, and she's been in the industry for a really long time, so I think.
That'd be good.
Kirsten's coming
Yes,
back.
she's off.
Did she roll off? That's how long it's been gone. When did she roll off?
It's been a
The
bit.
beginning of the
Yeah.
year.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
But she wasn't as long as I've been on.
She just,
I
I don't-
actually think she
Maybe she resigned.
off the.
Yeah, because she came and it was, yeah.
I guess you're right, cause she had her surgery. Yeah,
Yep.
you're right. Okay.
So it was more her choice than being turned out under our charter.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
But he's looking for other ones. He hasn't gotten anyone to bite the bullet. It'd be hard for a chairman to come on who hasn't been involved. That's what is the hard part. So that's the hard part of it.
So I said, unless they have like industry experience, cause I came in fresh, but do this for work, so it was a little bit easier.
Like.
Yeah.
From the department's perspective, if you wanna think about it, that's fine. We'll have it as the first item on the agenda. We'll do a roll call and then go right into the election and then whoever ends up being the chair will take the meeting over. And again, the only person that can't be the chair is Kristen because she is on the commission, but she is not eligible to be the chair, so the rest of the 9.
Yeah, Stacy.
I'm just the note taker.
Where can I hide?
I'm taking that note.
And the designer and yeah, don't sell yourself short.
Stacy.
Right.
Have you been to that celebration?
Alright,
Actually, I listen to your meetings, even though you don't know I'm on. I listen to them,
Good.
so I'm familiar.
Good.
so you're familiar with my babbling, so I'll just keep babbling. Great, we'll move that to July, I'll be listening in. Can't wait to see. Next public comment, do we have anyone on Zoom?
Can I ask a question first? Is it back to Wednesday on July?
Is the next meeting.
We were going to bring that up
Oh,
later
okay.
on. Because it's July 2nd, which is it's the holiday weekend, so I'm thinking. And we also have that night, unfortunately, we double booked ourselves. We're having a pop-up event in Community Park and the band Fanfare is playing there. And so some of us will be there and if we have to be, we can be here. We're thinking about kind of maybe switching a little. Try to find another day. So when we get to that, sorry. No, don't apologize. It's a good question. So,
Anyone on Zoom?
no, ma'am.
Alright, no public comment, then we can hop into our discussion of Celebrate Wildwood and updates from the staff.
Okay, so, we have been discussing the commemorative brick program for the Village Green for a few months now. And we did have samples last month that we did kind of take a look at. And the commission had asked for a different color on the pavers. So we have ordered a whole paver, but that didn't get here in time because it was going through production. So they sent us a little sample so we could check out the color of the
Oh, the red
brown.
one.
So you'll see we do have all the ones we had last month as well, just so you could kind of see colors with colors. But the large paver on the bottom down there is the red color and the little square up there is the brown color. So I know the commission kind of want to take a look at that color to see if they like that. The other bricks were approved, I believe, last month with those colors. We were just kind of checking out the paver. So that's the 8x16.
That's so light compared to all the other one. Well, I gotta look at that top.
And the top color, like when you see the paver sides, you know, that's just the concrete. But you'll look at the top where it's stained up there.
I mean, if we did it just these,
So which one did we approve?
these,
The 3 smaller ones.
Right.
these ones.
4x8s and the 8x8.
4 by
Okay,
These.
Joe, which
Yep.
ones are, did we approve?
These.
These.
Those 3.
And the colors, give your opinion. This one, you want to see the lighter shade.
And I don't think, I'm not.
Yeah.
I like that. First about this. I mean, if we were doing it all these, it would look great, with just those two colors.
They look so good.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. I think we'll have to go with these ones. What you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
They look so good.
They do.
I really like the gloss of
The black writing.
Yeah, it looks
Yep.
really great.
That'll last about a week. Somebody dirt gets it.
Yeah.
So we wanted the input from the commission, but also as a little side note, I know we had discussed last month the proposed selling cost for each. Because we were increasing from what we normally sell at Old Town School. So the commission did have a proposed selling cost, but then when this went to council on May 12th, they had bumped it up a little bit more to make sure that, you know, it's actually kind of more fundraising type, I believe is why they did it.
Well, first and foremost, the city council, when this was presented by the department to the members, they thought it was, weren't charging enough. So the debate centered around establishing just the amount. So for example, for the 4x8 brick, I thought, well, let's make it 250, and then ultimately they decided on a 25%, or it could fluctuate. Meaning that if the brick or paper goes up, then we'll add 25% to that increase in cost instead of having to come back and just keep adding on to it. So it gives the flexibility to address inflation or whatever cost increases might come our way. So they ended up, as Chris was saying, at $260 for the smallest, for the mid-size, 300, and for the largest, 400. So they increased all of your suggested amounts. And they approved. So it's what it is.
What if they don't sell at this price?
Then we'll go back. Well.
I'm just saying, because I'm thinking there are some people I don't think will pay $400. I'm personally thinking I would do it, but I don't think a lot of people will.
What we've done in the past with some of the larger ones, we always market those to like organizations, not-for-profits, group reunion types, classes. And so, yeah, it usually, the more expensive ones, we usually have to get more than one person involved. So that's why we'll see. But if they don't sell, as we start our discussions for next year's event, we'll tell you, well, we only sold X amount. You can say, well, we think it's because they're too expensive, and then we will take that to city council and said our commission members thinks it's too expensive, so we need to reduce the cost.
So I guess my question would be, if we have a certain area for these, what's gonna be there if we don't sell?
We'll have standard pavers there.
Oh, and you
So-
just remove those and put these in?
and
Okay,
then we'll
Those should be
store
blank
those.
pavers.
okay.
And then we'll store those for replacements if ones get damaged or worn. But yeah, we'll replace what we have in there, and then we'll use those as extras.
Okay, just was curious.
Can I ask a question? And I'm certainly new to the group, but I've been kind of listening, and my question is when, and we're already past the point and I have decided, but was there a process? I know you have a longstanding relationship with this company, but did you look at other companies for comparison? Because when I went online and just put in brick programs, I found probably 20, and most of them had costs that were less than this. And I know I have bricks all over town, you know, from the History Museum to SLU to the Cardinal Stadium. And probably the one I like best is the one that I paid the least for at the Cardinal Stadium, because they gave me one to put at my house. But just curious, the process. Yeah, the curious of the process to get to the company we decided on.
So this company that we've worked with for many years with the Old Pond School project with our brick program over there. So we've had good luck with them. They're, you know, very easy to work with. And another pro for this was they will design a whole website that all the ordering process can all be taken care of directly with the purchaser with the website. And it's just an easier process for that. So
I think most do that from what I read in the process, but that's why I was just curious, because I was finding a lot that were less. It doesn't mean that they were same quality. I'm not saying that, but as we look at it, did we explore others as a part of the process? Because that affects the bottom line of how much you're charging as well.
Madam Chair, if I may, when Chris and Stacy weren't here when we did the memorial program, brick and pavers over at Old Pond School. And at that time, there wasn't as many options, quite frankly. That was 2006. So obviously, like a lot of things, more and more companies have gotten into this particular area. But we did do competitive bidding to find the best price for Old Pond School. Secondly, Village Green, we're spending about $2.3 million to build phase one, and then we're gonna follow up with almost a $2 million playground. So even if the bricks were less expensive, we could sell more. I don't necessarily, as the director of the department, want to put something that's inexpensive in a park that we're basically investing a whole lot of taxpayer money in. So I'll always go with quality in Village Green. Not to say that the other companies aren't, but we know what this company is. Thank you.
Anything else on the brick program beyond the price update? Do we have a go live date? And I'm so apologetic if I should know
Do we need to vote on the colors? I think I have to make a motion that we pick the red big paver.
that. We have a second that we picked the red big paver. Thank you, Debbie. All in favor? Oh, sorry, guys.
From last month's notes, it said that were approved, bricks will be offered in Admiral full range and regimental red.
8.
Oh,
This is just the paper.
sorry, this is the pavers.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry about that.
I did just the big paver we had, but we voted on the other ones already, so we're just voting on the paper.
Great, so we have a first from Karen, a second from Debbie. All in favor? Loving you. Okay, and then my question was just a go live date.
Once we have the colors and everything, we can have the bricks set up the website and all that. I don't think it's gonna be a long process, but we needed all that before we could.
And then,
We could do it around the 4th of July holidays or something with a bit of a splash.
yeah. And then will they be placed by Celebrate Wildwood?
That's the goal.
We're just coming back for the event and I want to get Lydia a brick. I'm asking purely for selfish reasons. Great. Moving on to promo items.
I want to see those. Oh,
It's Chansky.
Oh, yeah.
See more than the note takers.
I know, right?
President Stacy.
Okay, if you wanna come up, you certainly can, right? But we talked about lots of things for sale. One was Mrs. Jaling's request for a crew neck sweatshirt.
Could use it tonight.
Oh. This looks
I don't
so
like to speak.
good with this.
Okay, so, okay, so two things about the t-shirts. The commission would wear a t-shirt, the staff would wear a t-shirt, we would also sell a t-shirt. So we're giving you the option of which color, and if we choose both colors, which we can do, we'd have to. These are 5 color prints, and there's more than 5 colors in here, so we would remove one of the colors so it would shine through, and that's all.
I do like both those colors.
I do, they're really cute.
And we can, you know,
Oh, it's soft.
Do you think we can convince Charlie to wear pink?
it's not really pink.
Oh, okay.
Lush,
If
it's
that's,
lush,
okay, fine.
lush.
Fit, yes.
Can I get someone to mail me a t-shirt?
Sure.
Okay, and then moving on, we have one of our commissioners, Ms. Edens. Well, she really wanted water bottles, and this is just a sample of 3 water bottles. And I just cut out a
Nice.
see what it would look like, and we can choose a water bottle if you want to move forward with those.
When we talk about these for the lid for this one, probably would be. I don't think people like taking off the lids, and these ones don't take. Can you drink through this one?
That one's too short.
resident?
It's not gonna hold much. Yeah. And that
This is like, this is like the Awalas that all the youths
Yeah.
like.
Correct. So, yep, there you go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I just because I'm not a person that likes to, when I'm drinking, I just want to do it fast, so like this me. Or if I have something else in there. It may not be water. It's okay.
Big difference in price.
No, these are all the same price.
Okay,
All right, so our samples.
okay.
Now, it was
that's okay.
requested to make it a little more Christmassy, which I think we did. And then the 30th logo on the back.
so cute.
Are they both the same?
Yeah.
They're the same.
Okay.
It's really cute.
Cute.
I noticed that the police cars need to be stickered.
I'll defer the
I
gentleman.
saw that it says 25 years still on it.
So it's funny you bring that up. If you've seen Steve DeGelder's truck, he's got the new yellow decals on it.
Yeah.
So all the police cars are gonna look like eventually. I think they're,
Took the
They're
new
gonna
one
put
for
a 30th
himself.
on it or?
I don't think
Is he
so.
really?
So, I think they're trying to, this was way above the police department's
That's fine.
pay grade. This came from Susan Page, trying to,
Oh my God.
St. Louis County has a new image they're trying to push out. The colors are blue and yellow. So they're trying to unify things across all counties.
I wondered why that truck was so, blue and yellow.
Yeah.
So-
So
And then we already have these. These are already made. They're in stock.
Okay.
That's nice.
So you're saying we have to remove one color here?
It just would bleed through.
Oh, got it, okay.
So like, I feel like for the cream, that's really easy because
Right.
like that is almost the same, I mean, that is the same color for all intents and purposes.
Right.
I
We
don't think
match
that's,
trucks now.
I don't think that's changing yet, but
On this color?
No, we can pick a different color. There's,
This color, but,
I like that oatmeal
It's
color
nice.
though.
Yeah. and then, size wise, what do we?
well, we would order many. So we do it in a small batch, but you know, we would have enough. We would run the gamut of the sizes.
So I think we need to ask the gentleman in the room, would they wear a hoodie with a pocket on the front?
Or could I get you in a salmon color?
Because I'm just worried that might be too feminine looking. I'm just.
There's no hood on that one?
I think a little.
You what, a hood on this one? This one?
This-
What?
I mean,
you a hoodie
Kim loves it.
person?
He like really wants a trucker hat.
Oh, good.
It has
Oh, we don't
pockets.
have,
It's like a hoodie.
oh, and stickers.
Did you say no hoodie?
We would also do stickers. No, she wanted a crew neck.
Doesn't have a hood on it, I
What?
wouldn't wear it.
I like.
You asked for
crew
crew
Would
neck.
wear
I like
it, you wouldn't wear it.
My husband wears crew necks, but he's not like,
I told you my
he
opinion.
has soft ones.
But you don't think that looks feminine, to have this pocket like that? I'm just asking.
I don't think it does.
There are versions without a
We
pocket
could have
and
somebody
there are
opt
versions.
for us, a gentleman in the
with a
room.
hood.
Yeah.
Should we go item
It's an
by
option.
item? So
please.
let's go item by item. So sweatshirt. My question for Stacy on the sweatshirt is, if we do a heathered, what does that do to the print? Because we'll have to pull out a color, so there will be like a reverse, like there'll be like, so like for instance, if we pulled out a color, there would be heather through the Wildwood, if we decide that that's the color we wanted to pull out.
Most likely we would be pulling out the white and this gold.
Yeah, so that would have a heathered.
Correct.
What is everyone's thoughts on that? Let's change the logo slightly if we go with heathered.
Let me just show you how
Heather?
it changed.
Pardon me?
Color is,
Color
That's
heather?
heathered, yeah.
that's Heather, okay.
Heathered.
So
It does
just
look
as an example for taking out a color. This was our green rock. No, this was our cabin fever. And one of the colors were removed. But you can't really tell.
You don't hardly know.
And the gradation of the sun was removed. So
I think that, and that one's like slightly heathered, but because it's like a darker, no, it's not, I mean. My concern with the heathered is because I just fear that it's gonna,
you can get other samples. We can get other samples.
I like the crew neck.
I do too.
I hate the pocket.
I could go either way with the pocket. I'm just afraid that Alan men will buy it with the pocket personally. What do you think?
I will compromise with you on oatmeal if we can kill the pocket.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I don't,
Can I get a motion to kill the pocket?
kill the pocket, I motion to kill the
All right.
pocket.
Motion from Debbie, a second,
I don't care.
or Bonnie, not Debbie. Sweatshirts. I'm gonna second myself. I second it. Can I do that legally? Perfect.
No pocket, but people.
I like the oatmeal. All in favor of that?
Uh,
Alright.
Whatever.
So the sweatshirt will be a crew neck with no pocket and the oatmeal color as we have
Yes.
display.
When will they be available? Do we know?
We're gonna try to get them as quick as we can.
What was that one?
I really like the two colored of shirts and I know that the staff will, do we have to pick one color?
You can do both.
Or we can do
I
different.
can't see men wearing that one color.
The salmon, not pink, not blush.
And I kind of don't want the same for the t-shirt and the sweatshirt because they're almost so much just similar in
Oh.
color. What would
The
another?
salmon or the oatmeal, or like the tan?
I
think
think
it would be
she's saying the tan is
So
so
the
close to the.
t-shirt would be 1884. 1624.
I mean, I like both those colors, so.
I did too. It doesn't, it's not, when you hold it up, it's not as close as it, you know, because I don't know if people will buy both anyway, so.
True, I will.
I really, really like the blush.
I do too. But I mean, I'd probably buy both.
It's a small quantity.
Just
We're
makes
getting
it-
small quantities.
Joe, which one would you wear?
I would wear both and
Is told to.
I say, if you were required to by your place of employment.
I would wear both. It's like, how many dark color shirts can you have?
I say, and I feel like we typically, because of our typical branding with the like green.
Someone called.
Black, blue and gray.
That's my rules. Mostly black.
So would we all have one of the same color?
Well, the commission would wear. Okay, the commission would all wear the same color and for the parade
And
and for the
talk
day.
Charlie into the salmon.
And staff would wear.
I won't be, I don't know why I'm really fighting for this.
Staff
Just
will
send them
wear,
a shirt.
she left us saying, staff will wear the same one? Or the other?
Maybe.
Alright.
It would say staff on the back.
Well, we all wore the same light blue. Didn't you guys wear
Yeah.
the same light blue as we did last year?
Yes, we did.
So we won't have polos again? With the new logo?
The council will have polos?
Mayor, city council, commission.
And we'll do polos. Now polos, I didn't bring the sample.
Okay.
They
They were nice polos. I'm happy to get a free polo, so.
Yeah.
Well, not free, I do work.
I really like, we've been golfing somewhere recently.
The polo selection will be done more by the mayor and city council.
Sure.
And then if we
Write the
keep,
check, so to speak.
yeah, if we keep going down the line, I think we like the one with the black top, the Owala dupe.
Yeah, that's easy.
And then everything else.
The ornaments are great.
Yeah, it's nice.
We'll order these.
Yep, that'd be so fun. I think those will sell really
I
well.
think these would be.
Especially we'll save some, well, if we need to order more for the Christmas lighting, that would be a good time for
It's
those.
a great price point for that. That one, the other one's seem a little high, but ornament you'll sell because it's $10.
It's okay, and these are already in stock. Here,
So t-shirts.
t-shirts. We're down to t-shirts.
That's good too.
Yes.
Yes.
Is everyone good with that?
I think it's fun. It's fun to do different colors. I think
Yeah.
you've been trying, I know you talked earlier about we need to change our logo. We've had the same thing for so many years. Let's start putting some new colors into the city, so.
Say, this is a great opportunity at 30th anniversary since we did the contest that was organized by the commission for the logo. Next year, you'll be asked, it's time to change the colors, time to change our banners. That kind of forward a color combination. We've had it for many, many years, so. I think a little difference, as Ms. Jansky mentioned, we're gonna get a full range of sizes, but we're not gonna get 100. We'll sell. Believe it,
Yeah.
if not, we get a lot of requests for swag baskets for
Mhm.
different
Ices and
events
stuff.
around town, so.
In a little side note, we previously talked about Teespring and Spring where you could go order direct from the website. We've had issues even getting our samples, so we're switching companies. And we're going with a new one. And there's so much stuff on there that they can do with the logo, either logo. So the 30th anniversary logo or a regular logo, so.
Okay.
Yep, so there'll be that option as well.
And we decide to have some at the event to sell, correct? Okay.
Somewhat, I'm sorry, Karen.
Some of the shirts and and sweatshirts at the event to sell, and water, I don't know, and water bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think people are very big impulse buyers at
Yep.
when they come, so.
Agree.
I
You
did
wanna
buy a
take it
piece
if
of
you
art,
buy
but I
it,
had
you
no
don't wanna-
intention of buying.
Sometimes
Serious.
the older
Walk,
guys
you walk the floor.
You can also walk out there and look at all the art departments.
It's a story for another time, but I really liked it and I was like, okay. And then I found out the price, but at that point I couldn't walk away.
Right.
People were
You
around.
committed.
That's, anyways, moving on. Great.
Just one last thing about Teespring. We've used them for many years, but we're getting to a point where we need to get the order in. And the fact that they've delayed and not shipped our samples we requested months ago.
Months, it's February.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's just, and Stacy and Chris did the research. We feel like this company is worth giving a try. They're competitive, so if you don't mind, that's what we're gonna do.
So is the ornament from the new company?
It's a different,
They all use they're all just distributors, so they all use the same. So like, if it's a Canva, that is like specific to SNS promo products, like they carry that brand specifically, so it's all just like a third party.
Oh, man.
and we'd
Yeah.
like to get started, Bill. And then it's June and then is until the end of September, but things start stacking up and it's just like, yes.
The distributor is.
Do you know what the cost will be to have them shipped when you order them? Did we have a cost on that? I mean, what are they gonna add to the cheaper price to have them shipped? Do we have any idea? I'm just
Those are-
curious.
Those are the shipping where we're doing our whole store. Those,
You mean the online store shipping?
Yeah,
no, I don't know the shipping.
I just was curious if it's, are they gonna add $5 more to it? So then, yeah, I just wondered people, when they add it all up, they're going, oh, wait a minute, I thought it was like, I don't know.
I think with spring, it wasn't too bad, so
What's the name of the company you're going with?
this one is. Geez, what is it?
We can find that out.
Yes.
I just wonder if I never.
I've got a printout here, but
I was just
checked out a
wondering.
few different ones, but.
There's so
we'll
many,
find
but
it out.
they're, yeah.
Right.
If we can find out, we'll get that cost. Like, we'll basically run the gambit. We'll see how much sweatshirt would cost if individually purchased and shipped, and the T-shirts, and kind of go from there. And then
Thanks.
send it out in an email before the next meeting.
Are we all good on promo? Do you have everything you need, Stacy?
I just want to let you know that stickers will also be ordered. Oh, that's through Sticker Mule. They're very inexpensive.
I like stickers.
Mhm.
Kids like them too.
All right, moving on to my favorite part, the parade.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, and thanks for mission as we. Give you an update on 2025. Not much to report. We've accomplished a lot already. Key component is I did contact former council member Greg Flynn, who was instrumental in the incorporation effort from the county side. And he has accepted his invitation to be one of the grant officials. We have completed the letters to the 5 mayors and family members of those mayors that have passed. And they'll be going out, I hope, next week. If we get a break in our spring packets, we need to get out for all the meetings we're having this month, part of this month. And we're along in all of the arrangements. We're looking at doing something, and I'll touch upon that when we get to Route 66, but to draw some interest in it. So if there's any questions, yeah, I think we've made good progress on the parade route. perspective is from Shook's Wildwood Crossing to basically Main Street, Eastgate Lane, right by the Walgreens. We've got the contract all settled there. Police will do much of the heavy lifting, getting everybody from City Hall to there, the dignitaries and all of you parts. As we get a little closer, we'll coordinate better. I assume that the Rotary will again assist with the parade lineup down the Wildwood Crossing. They've done a great job for us. And then they're the same, participants are coming back this year again.
My only thought was Grand Marshal. I know we've done the ribbons, the sashes. Is there any thought to doing a commemorative 30-year sash?
We actually talked about having something for them, anything substantial. And how fundraising goes, we'll have some options for
For
you.
the mayors, on the mayor.
Next month or two. And it's probably one of the things we can address a little later in the process, but we'll add that to the list. And if you have any thoughts of something nice, if you've been a Grand Marshal in a parade or seen something in a parade that you participated in or saw, that you think would be a nice memento to provide to them, please let us know. We'd be glad to consider it and certainly do the legwork to find out if it's available, how much this. Yeah, I think that Marshall should get something.
I know, like, 'cause I know we've done little things previously and I think we did a sash last year. Am I making that up? I feel like, yeah, I love that.
We didn't do that before that. Before last year's for sure we did the sash.
We gave them a bag as well as.
Yeah, we gave him a swag bag.
Yep.
I just remember I just thought Mr. Luther looked very dapper in his.
Yes, he did.
I don't
We
know
did 2 years in a row,
Did we?
the sash.
It all runs together at some.
what was in the bag,
Oh, I one of the
shirts.
the flag, the book, I believe.
Gave them.
Yeah. That's nice.
That might be nice for the mayors, especially the ones that don't live here anymore.
Yeah, a lot of them all of them are mentioned it at some point, whether.
Yeah, so that might, because they're all, since they're mayors, I know, I'm sure some of the mayors have it, but I'm sure some of them don't.
That's a great suggestion, and we'll do it again if there's no objection on the commission.
No.
Yeah, we gave them, because we kind of felt like they ought to walk away with something or. Parade, always fun. Like, Chris has been twisting the folks down at Hidden Valley Ski Resort to participate in the event, so they'll have a booth. Oh, sorry, Stacy.
Good
I
call,
found
back up.
everybody.
He's the one that twists everybody's arm.
Stairs, so yeah. So yeah, today, a DJ here, the general manager, actually gonna be in the play. It'll be nice. It'll be a new entry we haven't had in the past. Cool. Thank you.
Anything else on the parade from the commission? Great. Activities, commitments, do we have I haven't seen the thermometer in a couple.
No, it's not as impressive as.
I know.
We're at 15,600.
We need a little help.
We would love some help.
What do you feel like is different this year versus, I mean, obviously the economy, but
I
I
think we
don't know.
just have to ask personally to some, because it's an email or a letter
Yeah.
that came out early and they delete, close it.
Yeah, when they
Out of
have to
sight, out
look
of
at our
mind.
faces, then they.
Have to say no to us in person.
So much easier, you know, if you send it and then follow up with a call, it's harder for them to say no.
do we still feel like the online portal is still going well? We don't feel like that's a barrier? Okay.
Makes it a lot easier.
Is there anything that we can do as a commission to support? I would,
Please.
I would think if you had any connections out there to any businesses or anybody in the area, if you have a connection, that's always, I think, great to reach out to. We'll go try to people, you know, that have sponsored before, and that we know generally, okay, these are our typical sponsors. And our contractors that do a lot of business in the city, you know, those are the ones we'll go reach out to. It's just all of the businesses we'd never be able to do in a day. But if you have any connections or anything like that,
So I was gonna say, if you know a business owner in town or regular customer of a business, they recognize you as someone that patronizes their business. Certainly, if you don't feel uncomfortable asking, I'm on this commission, if you really, we really like you to participate, it's a great opportunity to get publicity in town. I should have asked this before we got down to the meeting, but last year, where were we this time?
That was my question. I was just gonna ask that. Year to date, I just wondered how close we were.
Has the new brewery been approached?
On a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Nothing about sponsorship.
Is there a sponsorship sheet or
Yes,
sponsorship?
I'll
brochure?
get it for you.
yeah, we could give copies of those to just hand out, so you're not even. I mean, we do that a lot too. We'll drop off the sponsorship form. Hey, if you're interested, if they're a little iffy, okay, we're not high pressure at all.
What if we did something that was like, hey, so we have a lot of new businesses in Wildwood this year. I feel like there's been a lot that have opened up, Singers, the Spice Shop, the brewery,
We have two mattress.
Yeah.
one that had the dog.
So Mattress Dogs we did reach out to Mattress Dogs. We gave them the information. He asked Paula about it. Then we followed up and we just have to go talk to him in person.
I was just curious if something like a letter that you could send like on behalf of the commission, like as a new business, we're reaching out to you specifically, just trying to think of ways that it feels less
Sure.
and just like more personal, because it's like, Pasiglia's knows where they're gonna be on September, insert date here every year, and it feels like but I feel like the new folks might not know that it's part of the cadence of Wildwood.
At this time, 1 year ago today, it was June 5th, 2024. We're at 9,125.
So
we're doing-
pushing it.
You guys are doing fine.
Yeah.
No? You're doing fine.
Okay.
I just want it done.
We have not
Yeah.
yet. I can't, and the since I've been on the committee, we have never not made our, so.
What's our goal?
35,000.
More this year than last couple of years. We did that intentionally because of the anniversary.
And we have a heavier overhead with some of the anniversary special stuff, so. Well, if there's anything from obviously besides like personal outreach and things like that, if there's anything like sign my name to something, I'll send something, I feel like a lot of times when we were trying to get new vendors, Lauren's like personal outreach, I felt like really helped, and so I'm just
Mhm.
trying to find an equivalent.
And you do not have to be a Wildwood business to sponsor.
And I don't think that is like a known thing. I think that sometimes it's like a thought
Used
of,
to just be Wildwood businesses,
Yes,
right?
for many years,
Oh.
we would restrict.
so maybe that's why there's that.
I asked Mr. Lee, our city administrator, Director of Public Services, and Gateway. To
Absolutely.
place Tollers and lucrative contracts in the city in
Yeah, they do.
years past. Meridian was our sole provider of residential services. They used to sponsor the fireworks display.
Mm.
So it was a $10,000 gift. Yeah, that's nice.
Well, on a note, we do have one of our electrical contractors in the city, Authorized Electric, a big $1,500. Last year they just did 150. This year 1,500. And Portable Water Closet, who does all of our restroom cleaning, portable restrooms, did 1,500 this year as well.
And
So
And a new business, network, cyber security. And
Village
yeah,
Parkway or what?
they're new.
Mhm.
What's it? Network systems. And they were a premier at 1,500, so.
Oh, good. We'll keep at it.
Yep.
You never know.
It's good news to know that we're ahead of where we were
Yeah.
last year, and last year was very successful.
I feel like I just jumped into your update because I asked about the thermometer, so I yield the floor back to you, so sorry.
Well, okay, if you've gandered over at the Village Green area, you'll see it's coming along. Got some steps and some boulders and
Saw the trucks coming with the boulders when I was working out the other day.
yeah, they were in front of me the other day too. So that's coming along. So that's good news. We just talked about the sponsorships. We will be meeting next week with outdoor lighting perspectives, and we've got some great ideas out in the Village Green to really make it look beautiful out there. Mr. Vunich said we've got all the light standards out there, so we'd like to have a lot of cool lighting out there, maybe some coming up the steps, maybe a little bit still out in the street here, so we'll see what we can do. But we're gonna meet with them next week to see what they can pull together. Police services, as we know, under Sergeant Grace and Officer Fisher. On the completed items, one of the other little things that we've been talking about for months is the line dancing, and that has now been secured.
Nice.
So you'll see up there between 5:30 and 6:30, we'll be doing some line dancing. So special little item.
And they are also in the parade.
Oh, fun.
Parade participants were up to 18. And the list is here. I think we talked about last month, Fred Bird and Louie from the Blues. Brian Marshall, we just spoke about. Raid, 30th anniversary. We still have Principia starting at Schnucks. And Stacy just spoke with the Rotary today. They will be doing the parade lineup and all that. So that is a huge help. Food and drinks underway. We have plenty of food vendors committed. We have some new ones in here. And drink vendors as well. You'll see we have a few lemonades in there. We'll have to kind of figure out how we're gonna
Always the
work
lemonades.
that. Yeah, we're
Sort each other.
gonna have to figure that one out. But you know, some good varieties of drinks and food and all different kinds of things. But I think Union Baptist Church was not on here last month. So ding ding, we'll have the fish sandwiches.
Yeah, catfish.
Yeah. And fries and fire. Let's see, what else is new on here? Okay, concert items, as we know, good, booked, all of our general items booked, our kids' activities all booked. You'll see under the artists and crafters and the nonprofits. Some new ones under there. We have some of our staples. Stacy and I kind of talked today about you might have been out at the farmer's market and seeing the large array of booths out there. So yeah, Natalie McAvoy had a great first. We were at the first farmer's market. I think she had 60 booths out there for the first one. I've kind of been checking out her booth people out there. So we're kind of,
Are you poaching her?
we
She
just
helps
might.
us.
Yeah, she does. If we, we'll reach out if anybody's iffy out, about doing Celebrate Wildwood. I don't know, if it seems too big, whatever, but she's great about being a liaison with her contacts and us. I think last year she got a couple people over for us that were just a little iffy. They weren't sure.
How much is the booth?
$100.
You'll see some new ones on there.
So, Madam Chair, members of the commission, I'm a little concerned about the numbers. We only have 23. So, if you know anybody that would be interested.
What's your goal? For number of booths, what's ideal?
Well, we can easily accommodate 75 to 80. Reach 100. We use a little bit of the city hall parking lot.
What was I know Lauren sent out her inaugural Please Come to Celebrate Wildwood emails. Did we get any from that, her last round that she did a couple weeks ago?
I don't think so. I'm not totally sure. These are generally repeats here.
Have we polled last year's to see who we're missing?
We have reached out to everybody.
Sure.
We haven't, we haven't,
Like a reverse style.
yeah, we haven't cross compared from last year versus this year.
I know that Painter Rebel's gonna do it, cause I talked to him in exercise class.
Good.
You know that Rebel?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
And I asked him to reach out, cause he goes to art fairs. I mean, I guess you guys have his contact. He just did the one down on Delmar. And he was at the Art Guild last week doing a demonstration. He knows so many artists. If you could get him to give you a list of people, I think he would, and I'll tell him, I'll ask him too, when I see him next Tuesday and say, you know,
Thank you.
Yep, thinking about some of our new businesses that are,
his name's really Matt. I don't know if I'm-
that might not be ready to sponsor because they're new businesses, so I think of
Right.
like, you know, like Grapes Games, maybe, you know, just sponsoring might not be something that works for them, but they obviously have products, so have we thought about like, so thinking Grapes Games and even the new Spice, like they could have a booth because they have like dried goods, like have we, is there a way that we could aggregate kind of a abstract list of people we might not typically think is a booth vendor that are new? Like just sponsoring, I mean, there is ROI obviously and like, you know, logo recognition, but when you think about like, nobody knows what the Grapes Games logo looks like, and unless you're like, have a husband who collects Pokemon cards, you wouldn't know that existed, so. Just a thought. Everyone should go to Grapes Games, they're very lovely.
Go where?
Grapes Games, they're over by Arta. It's a collector store,
Over by what?
by Arta.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
Oh.
Oh,
I know. like, okay.
oh, yeah, I know that.
Okay.
If we're leaning
thought
more
that's- used
towards
to have
the
a different name.
handmade, then it get,
It was a different.
Sure.
you know, so.
So they would have to sponsor because they're a
Mhm.
business to get a booth.
Okay. Okay,
Well, any suggestions you have, please provide them to Stacy, Chris, Fry. But really, obviously, that's an integral part of the day is
yeah,
vendors and booths available to keep people interested, and keep them at the event.
sure.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Sponsorships we've talked about. We did meet.
We're ahead of where we were last year in sponsorship.
And I'm
Not that much
actually,
going crazy.
It's noted.
we can actually check out booths too, to see kind of where we were last year too, so we don't stress out. Nah, we're gonna stress
Only
out
tell 'em-
anyway.
Only tell them.
What am I talking about?
Had 50 booths, just pretend you couldn't find it.
Please stress out anyway. We did meet with West News Magazine and the contracted them for a half-page vertical save the date, which I believe Stacy has already gotten with Sharon, and also the 3-page spread that we do as well. So that is already going. I don't know if you have noticed the social media for the city lately, but it is like she's knocking it out of the park on doing
Trivia
social
has
media.
been so fun,
Uh-huh.
like how that's been so fun.
Yeah, so that I think is really gonna really help us get the word out. We're having an event on Saturday, Green Rock Trail Challenge, which has filled up, gotten 150, and we haven't done that the last couple years. So we're hoping social media has gotten that word out, the new website.
That might be a thing to mention to vendors, if we could have her pull, which I know she can, using like Hootsuite, like if she could pull the like social media engagement in the last couple months, and she's, cause I think that like, some of the things that get said is like, there's not a lot of traffic, well, hey, our events are directly having traffic because our social media engagement's up, so we expect a high year, not just because of the anniversary year, but cause I think if we can like promise, not promise foot traffic, that might get some of our on the fence folks who talk about, it was also so hot last year. Like,
No, you just had a baby. That's what was the problem.
True. It was so hot.
So we're really excited about the social media and the website and all she's doing. So I think we talked about having her come into a meeting, so maybe she can come next month.
That saves us money, because as you know, we contracted with consultant to do a lot of social media previously. So we are saving money, money can go elsewhere to enhance the investment.
Okay, last year, at the same exact time, we had 29 booths
That's not so
versus our
bad.
22, 23, and I think Robin is having historical, so that would put us at 24 right now. So,
I'll relax a little.
wait. Oh, sure you will. Relax.
Wildwood sell, we'll have a booth, right? Selling. Did you count us?
Nope, you're not on the list. We're added in.
And the booths, it's a tent, they get a tent too, right?
10 by 10.
And table and chairs.
Oh, they,
10 by 10.
when a vendor signs up for a booth, they have the option to bring their own tent or pay $30 to rent a
Okay.
tent.
Most vendors have
Right.
branded tent, like it very rare, yeah, they have a.
So that is the update for June. If you have any questions, be happy to answer them. Suggestions?
All right, do I dare ask if ever, on ballpark come?
Oh,
Well, we contacted them. Not yet provide the check or cost sharing from last year. So I'm holding their $5,000 check now. City gives to the Pond Athletic Association each year $5,000 for their training league participants, which are almost entirely Wildwood residents' children. So figure put a little leverage into the game.
good idea.
We'll see.
Or how much did they owe?
We don't know.
Yeah,
It wasn't much.
It's not huge.
last year they paid, I think, 200 and some odd dollars.
Which is, it's really not a good percentage of what, if they're supposed to be giving us a percentage of, I know they sold more than $2,000 worth of beer. That was, whatever.
Well, we depend on them taking seriously our request and doing the right thing. But as I say, I just don't feel it's right to give them money, taxpayer money, until they pay what they were promised. So
And she said last month she was definitely gonna do it, so she,
we all met with her in the conference room upstairs. So one of the last items we talked about, she said that they had to change over with the secretary and the treasurer, and they get it squared away. So, and then after our meeting, we followed up. We're still kind of in a holding.
I did contact her about having a banner there. And they were all for it not us. They were going to provide a banner. We wouldn't have to have it printed, but. Okay.
A little awkward.
Yeah.
and I'm kind of disappointed, I think. I think next year we need to see if there's so many men's clubs, Rotary, Lions Club. Gloria Ventura just called me and said, we're wanting to do something for your charity, our eye care charity. And so I know the Lions Club is willing to do things, so.
Yeah, we would have no difficulty replacing them. But it's disappointing from my perspective. But we'll keep at it. And now we have a little leverage more so than. And even if it doesn't necessarily proceed forward in a positive way, we still have time to substitute somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because as you say, last year or the year before, we did up the wine vendor didn't participate. We asked the Lions Club and they took it and did a fine job for us. It sold wine.
I mean, I don't hate the idea. Competition either.
Maybe that's it too. But we'll figure it out.
Sure.
And we'll give you an update in July.
Right, anyone have any other questions on 6B before we move on to other considerations? Great. Venue update. It's done.
Chair and members of the commission, I will hopefully assess the progress of phase 3 these terms. In the last 4 weeks, they've done more work in the past 4 months. So the rain, obviously, the last couple of days has slowed things down again and will for a short term as the ground dries out. But as I summarized in the memorandum, there's been a lot of progress. Some of the progress is slow because they're doing the pavers, the outer ring of the oval, and they have to cut pavers to fit into the shape. So that's just taking a little bit of time, but they are making good progress. And the biggest delay was the undergrounding of the electrical lines that define the boundary between City Hall and Village Green. Ameren, Missouri has got the plan. We've got the change order for that now. That change order is going to City Council on Monday night. So hopefully we'll have that approved. And then we'll really be able to kind of cut loose, finish up the tree area. So a lot of progress. Certainly each day I get a little more nervous because it's the end of September and now it's the beginning of June. But the general contractor keeps telling me August. So we sure like to have a run through there before we get to the big event, like the back to school party. or something like that.
Has all this weather been pushing him back? Quite
Yes,
wet.
for the most part, and this has been verified by others. December, because of a certain degree weather, holidays, January and February, entirely for weather, were just lost months for everybody. But March and April, we didn't see much of them out there. In fact, some stretch of days didn't see them at all. And May wasn't starting out great, but we had kind of a planning works committee of city council, and the department and the contractor kind of had a meeting together one night. And he kind of laid it on the line. Just can't continue what you're doing. And he had bid on another project, reassembly of the Essen Log Cabin, which is in Village Green. I recommended against it. You can't do what you're doing now and you want to do another thing, so we're going to divide your attention. That just didn't make sense. And that seemed to kind of caught him on fire. And the saving grace to all of this is we've had a different people go out and inspect some of the improvements, and they're done well. So that's the good news. It isn't that it's slow and being delayed and bad workmanship. It's just it's being kind of slow and delayed, getting good workmanship. So
That's good.
and if I didn't have all gray hair, I'd have some more. Any questions? Madam Chair, members of the commission?
This is just we'll call it quarterly bah humbug of saying, I think that come August 1, we should just rough out a plan B. Just in case. I'm not saying we need to spend a lot of time on it, but just I mean, you plan for rain events at all time, just a rough plan B just in case.
And trust us, we are already heading in that direction, which also leads me to the other item I almost forgot to mention. We'll have a layout of the booths, that's all the events for the July meeting. Ken Keitel with Terrace Beck, who's done that for us before, we were looking at having to kind of move from the theater site over to the garage last year because we thought the theater would be the site next to the theater. Yeah, construction wasn't for us, but we'll have a layout for you so you can kind of start visualizing how it's all going to fit together. Then I think that'll help
Great.
Galvanize it too. It's like, oh boy, it works. Right now it's just a lot of questions.
I think the good news is because of last year, thinking that we did not have ed space, I feel like we came up with a rough plan B, which is nice that we kind of did all of that work last year to then thankfully,
And that plan B would work this year.
right, yeah, so I think maybe we don't even need to rough out a plan B, because we kind of have all of that sans whatever ambulance situation we had to come up with, but it's just always makes me sleep better at night when there's a just in case.
Understood. Good point, thank you. Any other questions on the venue?
So the monthly concerts will still continue to be where they have been
In July,
until,
one will be in. Now that development, we're getting I still think there'll be an apartment complex there. There's been a request from the development entity, which is Greenberg Development and Mia Rose Holding. They want some public financing, sales tax exemption on building materials, which equates to about $1 million savings. And then they wanted some deference of the property tax, which we don't collect, but all of our service providers do. So that's working its way through city council. That's kind of delayed them a bit. But the development entities are pressing to get the site development plan recorded, get the improvement plans finalized, and they're talking of a grading permit. So the June concert will be where we are, I think. July probably, but after that, I can't make any guarantees. I said the same thing primarily when Prime Place senior care facility was being proposed on a portion of the site, and that went nowhere. So we'll have a plan A, B, probably plan C.
I saw them out walking it the other day when I was up here. A lot of trucks out there walking it, so I know they're ready to go when they can, so.
Well, like I say, there's just a lot of uncertainty in the building industry too right now, which is kind of complicating.
All right. Route 66 anniversary discussion.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. Madam Chair and members of the commission, as you know, we've been kind of talking about the 100th anniversary of Route 66. Through Wildwood is its original location as commissioned by the United States Congress. So one further south that goes through Eureka and Pacific was a relocation. So we have the original here, that section. To kind of, with your all's permission, we've kind of brought you into the fold to help plan for that 100th anniversary here in Wildwood. And tonight I'd like to offer 3 things that it's okay with you, we'd like to do this year versus waiting till 2026. The first is, as part of our polos, maybe putting a little logo, 66 logo on the sleeve, so people would see it, and that's about it. Next year is the 100th anniversary. The second item is the department would like to invite the Route 66 Association of Missouri, and the members living here in Wildwood, to the event and offer them the tent, table, and chairs for no charge. Kick off their participation with the city for the upcoming year. And then finally, there'll be a lull here shortly in terms of the banners that are out on Manchester Road, which is Route 66. We have the Hometown Heroes banners being displayed. They'll probably come down sometime next week. The Celebrate Wildwood banners won't go up probably to
Late August.
late August. So we have about a window of 2 months. So the department was thinking that maybe we do a Route 66 banner with the Celebrate Wildwood logo as a component of it and get something out there just to start to celebrate Wildwood in everybody's mind, but also Route 66.
And could we reuse those banners next year?
Yeah, that would be.
Great.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
So that's kind of the thought is maybe
Sounds
if we could do those 3 things and kind of get some interest generated as we work toward the event in September, but then the larger event during the year 2026. So tonight I'm offering that to you. We're here to answer any questions, but if they're agreeable to it, I'd like a motion.
Yeah, let's go item by item. How does everybody feel with the patches? Like that feels easy, great. How does everybody feel about the booth? That feels like
A
easy,
no-brainer.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then as long as the banners are reusable so that they're cost effective, I think.
Well, Melanie Ripito, who for the most part designed our Hometown Heroes banner program, is working on those. I hope to have them at the July meeting for you to see.
I'm moving
Real
to move
to-
forward.
With all three, great. Can I get a second? No. Great. First from Bonnie, second from Debbie. All in favor? Great.
Thank you very much. I think it'll be fun and.
Yeah, be good.
Planned, on these. Anniversary, drive-in movie to a Bunyan run to all kinds of different things.
And I think it makes sense from a cadence perspective because we kicked off the big 30th push at the previous event being the Christmas. And so I think just dovetailing into our next big event at our previous event, this makes sense.
Thank you.
I know we talked about the bike ride, making it a 30-mile bike ride this year to celebrate. Are we looking into that, to
Yeah.
do that? And I think that's another opportunity to do t-shirts or something for the,
It's good, yes.
I don't know,
The short ride's 28, so add in a couple miles.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be much of a
was it
challenge.
Tour to Wildwood?
Yeah, exactly.
And when is that gonna be?
It's the first Sunday in October. It's a real popular event. We cap it at 300.
Be
bikers.
nice.
Generally meet that.
Do they do a fun ride for children? Or is that something we thought about? Did we talk?
Paul Wojciechowski, who was a council person, was on the Historic Preservation Commission, passed away, unfortunately. Brain cancer. He used to do the kids' part. He'd take them in the back here and they do laps around here. It's real fun. We haven't done it since his passing. But we partner with the Missouri Bicycle and Pedestrian Association, which is not headquartered here in St. Louis. Maybe we can ask them about that. Because it would be fun. You could even do it up on the top deck of the garage or something. It's an enclosed space that's safe.
I know we honored him, the Historical Preservation Committee when he got his honoree and there was a big party. Do you think there would be anybody who would take up the mantle for the kids like in his name or if does his wife bike or just thinking like it would be great to honor.
She's in my women's grief group and she works out with me at the gym too. So.
Sharon, his wife, does bicycle. We had founder David Clauser, the first mayor, and Paul at the Tour to Wildwood, not last year, but the year before, I think it was. And Sharon was there, and I think she rode in the Shark Ride, as I recall.
I like that. I mean, just another thing to add to the list to do, but
But yeah, it's the Tour to Wildwoods, it's one of those events that it's a lot of work for us, but we always just get such positive feedback. And it's just a great time of year to be out on the roads. It's early
Mhm.
fall and leaves are starting to change and generally we've had great weather, knock on wood again. So it's fun.
do we want to talk about meeting dates real quick?
Chris, turn it over to the boss.
So the July 2nd meeting was a Wednesday. Kind of threw out there July 3rd, which is the following day. So we know it's right before the 4th of July holidays. I don't know how that would work for everybody, but does anybody know their schedule?
I'm okay. I don't.
I
Either
got
one.
grandkids coming in, so I don't think the third will work for me, but maybe I could zoom in, but because I know I have July 4th.
Just for the sake of city staff, I feel like, I hope that some of you will take like the 3rd off, so since you have the 4th off and take a long weekend. I don't know if that's a plan, just, is there any value in just dropping it to the week after if there's availability, just for the sake of everybody's schedules and
How could architectural review board?
Would the 10th work better? July 10th, that's a Thursday.
Thursday?
The 9th, which would be a week after our normal meeting date, is coordinating
Yeah.
the entire building.
So July 10th.
The other option be maybe the 8th, because you're, Ms. Gopal, you're not on admin public
Yeah,
works.
no,
Committee.
That's
So
at
we
five
could do
thirty.
the 8th or the 10th, if that would work better.
I'm going to Frozen on the 8th.
Good. Good.
And if we make it for the 8th, you might come back as chair. You gotta be careful.
There you go. Enjoy yourself.
Oh,
great
that's
time.
Tuesday, right? It's a Tuesday? Yeah, I'm going to.
got that, Chair. Good job.
Chair.
Them.
That's what happened to Lauren.
So the 10th?
10th?
Okay,
Right.
I'll try it.
Well, thanks for accommodating that.
We have one more.
Okay.
thing. When Ms. Robleski came to see us about this commission, she had a great idea to have a coloring contest for the kids.
So
And so we
cute.
have this,
Oh, that's
and we were thinking that the kids can print this off the website or, you know, get it at different locations, and bring it to the city tent, and they could get a prize. We can actually call it a contest. Maybe it isn't a true contest of a winner, but everyone's a winner in this situation. And Ms. Robleski has tons of fun prizes and giveaways that we could have them pick from maybe.
This could be really great to drop off at some of our local restaurants that already do crayons. So I think like Sunnyside does, and so does Wildwood Pub. They already, you know.
Love that.
And we, Madam Chair, we had talked about it after we collect them at the city tent, posting them inside the vestibule area
Mhm.
here. And having their parents and kids come by, maybe take pictures of them with them.
That's so
It's like that.
It'd be fun if you had a Route 66 one in the Route 66 tent, because they could grab that as they, and for, just something else to do, but.
If there's no objection on the commission, or
Yeah.
we'll give them a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would
That's
be great.
like that.
great idea.
Okay, and I'll kind of, you ready for me to go ahead and add to this?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what I did when I came to meet with them is I said that I was very fortunate to be in the right place at the right time when a company was moving and they didn't have space in their new facility for some items. And, it started with take a truckload, and I took, my SUV and filled it up, and then they go, come back. And 10 times later, half of my garage was full. But I just wanted to show you some of the items. Like this one is a Spider-Man flashlight, which has the Spider-Man logo on the front. So, and you can see it like on the table, but I have 1,000 of these. So we kind of said it might be kind of fun to give to the kids, because then they could
Especially at
use
night,
it
yeah.
at the
Fireworks.
concert and the fireworks, and that they could even say, hey, kids, turn on your flashlight as a part of the process. So I do have 1,000 of these. I confirmed I have 1,000, but
They come with
we
batteries.
just gonna look at it.
They come with.
They don't have batteries in them, but I did, Mr. Boonish said that within our budget that they could work with me on the batteries. They are a little bit, you need a screwdriver to put them in, so I'm willing to put them in before the event. I have 48 of these and 48 of these, which could be prizes. This one's Paw Patrol and this one is Trolls, but they have a different little logo thing on those. In case anybody wants to look at those. This one's kind of cool. It's got a little mat. I also have, I think I have about 150 of these. It's liquid sidewalk, chalk roller. So it's sidewalk chalk that you put water in and it makes it kind of paint. I also have, I have over 100 of these, which is a 3-part one. I still am looking for the rest, but I do have 100 of these for prizes. I also have a variety of stickers. There's 4 different ones: Disney, Spider-Man, Paw Patrol, and Trolls. So I have stickers. I know I have at least 20 boxes, which has 10. Well, it has 4 times 10, so, but there's at least 800 packs of stickers that kids could pick. These are actually to put candy in, and I know I have at least 100 or 200 of these if we wanted to put candy in some little containers, and they're different ones. if we want to do something with that. And then this is a LED light up bracelet, and this does say trolls, so they're kind of specific, but it was all free. And if, you know, this would also show up at night at the
Love it.
event. So I brought some things for you to see, because I get very excited about events. So I got all of it and said, you're welcome to any of it. It was donated for another organization, but she gave us so much. I told her it was much more than what that organization could use. And I just promised it would go to kids. And she said, awesome. So.
Great, those look awesome.
Nice.
So think about what we can use all the items for,
Yeah.
but
Flashlights are cool.
The flashlights are really
Yeah,
cool.
those-
Yeah.
yeah. So this one has different.
yeah, this one
Yeah.
has 3 different, it's got a spider and a
Mhm.
whip. But I know there's over 100 of these that I found today.
You probably can't wait to get out of your bed, your garage.
That and my mom's furniture.
Nobody's buying.
That's why I
these
couldn't get to everything. because-
All right, anything else before we adjourn?
Thank you for your service.
Yeah. Good luck on your move.
October 1st to me.
Listen, I mean, I can attend virtually. No one can look at my house. But yeah, thank you. It's been so great. I'm gonna try and do the event to attend and maybe wear my shirt that I'm gonna make Stacy mail me, just walk around. So yeah, thank you so much. It's been so fun. I feel like, I don't know, so sweet. Just think about last year when I had my teeny tiny baby here and now she'd be walking in the parade. So it's crazy to think how much time flies and how much Celebrate Wildwood has been a part of that. So I'm gonna miss you guys. I'll be lurking on the meetings, so. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Perfect, thank you. It's non-negotiable. We're all leaving. We're adjourned at
Thanks so much.
7:23.
Good rest of the week.